Nancy Drew, Mystery of the 6.5 Keys. Chapter 7. Nancy was dismayed to see that Oscar was correct. There were over 600 possible combinations for the puzzle. She probably couldn't get the correct solution by guessing. Nancy thanked Oscar and headed next door to Zloty's Custom Jewelry. "What's up?" Nancy asked. "I'm Nancy Drew, the super amazing detective who just solved Oscar's artifact puzzle in record time. But don't tell anyone I'm a detective, okay? I'm trying to keep it a secret." "If you want to keep it a secret, why did you tell me?" Vladena asked. "I didn't," Nancy said. "You just did." Vladena looked confused, then shook her head. "I already know who you are. I was the one who asked Adela to hire you. I hope you can prove my innocence swiftly, and without asking too many annoying questions." "I'm never annoying to anyone ever," Nancy lied. "So what's up with you and Oscar? Are the two of you dating each other?" "Why would you say that? I hate the fool!" Vladena snapped. "He should have been fired for letting the museum be robbed. I should have the job of inspecting all the jewels. I am a much more talented gem appraiser." "So you want to date him, but he hasn't asked you yet," Nancy said. "That's not at all what I said," Vladena said. "Stop wasting my time with foolish jokes." "It wasn't a joke," Nancy muttered to herself. She was sincerely hoping that Oscar and Vladena would end up marrying each other because they were both gem experts. Their diamond rings would have been amazing. "I come from a long line of appraisers and gemology experts," Vladena said. "Many people come to me before they go to anyone else. I have only had a few complaints from greedy nobles who wanted more money." "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" Nancy said, holding up her hands. "You're saying that your jewelry store sells jewels to stay in business?" Vladena glared at Nancy. "Because if so, that means you have a motive," Nancy said. "You could have stolen Adela's gems in order to sell them for... For money? Is that what you can do with gems?" "You are an idiot," Vladena said. "Leave my store now." "But you haven't told me about the necklace inspection yet," Nancy said. "Leave now," Vladena ordered. "You are too stupid to solve this case. There's no way you will be able to find all the keys. Bringing you here was a mistake." "The only mistake I've ever made is loving mysteries too much," Nancy said. "What do you mean you brought me here to find keys?" "Forget I said anything," Vladena said. "Okay," Nancy agreed. She quickly forgot most of the conversation, but she remembered the important thing. Vladena and Oscar hadn't started dating yet. Chapter 8. Nancy ran across the courtyard with her arms spread wide, pretending to be an airplane. She skidded to a sudden stop outside of a large green cart. "Puppet show!" she cried. "Praga-Slovakia is the coolest country I've ever been to!" Sadly, the sign on the cart said the show would not do any performances that day. Nancy booed loudly. "Well, since I can't see the awesome puppet show, I might as well complete my investigation for the day," Nancy said to herself. "I've only got one suspect left." She picked up her phone and called Hans Farsinger. "Hello, Mr. Hans Farsinger," Nancy said. "Are you actually a singer, or is that your stage name?" "Who is this?" Hans asked. "I'm Nancy Drew, and since you live in Germany, maybe you know me from the time I stopped a monster rampage at Castle Finster," Nancy said. "Where?" Hans asked. Nancy growled. So Renata had lied about telling Nancy's story to everyone in Germany. That was even worse than Renata eating all the Black Forest cake without leaving any for Nancy. "It's not important," Nancy said. "I'm calling on behalf of Adela Cherna. Her necklace was stolen after she sent it to your company. What sort of security measures do you have in place? Fake security cameras, perhaps?" "Our facility here is very secure," Hans said. We catalog all jewels on Degas when we receive them, and we double-check all jewels against Degas before removing them. Who's Degas? A friend of yours? Nancy asked. Degas stands for the Digital Expert Gem Authentication System, Hans explained. It is the most sophisticated system we have for cataloging and tracking jewels. I see, Nancy said. Any chance I could get a copy of Adela's Degas file? I do not share classified material with total strangers, Miss... What was your name again? Shannon, Nancy said. Deirdre Shannon. Well, Miss Shannon, I do not appreciate your intrusive questions, Hans said. If Adela's gems were stolen, I assure you that Second Shine was not responsible. If you have anything else to say, you can talk to my lawyer. Is your lawyer named Degas? Nancy asked, but it was too late. Hans had already hung up. He was pretty defensive, Nancy said. I wonder if that's because he's hiding something. She wasn't sure if Hans was a legitimate suspect, or if he was one of those fake-out suspects who appear once and then never get seen again. Chapter 9. Nancy didn't feel like doing any more investigation, so she called her longtime boyfriend, Ned Nickerson. Hey, Ned, she said. Hey, Nance, how's the case coming along? Well, I've met all the suspects, but I need a little help, Nancy said. I need a handsome, intelligent man who's good at solving tough problems. I'd be honored to help you, Ned said. Great, Nancy said. So you'll ask Frank Hardy to call me? You want Frank to help you? Ned asked. Or Joe, but he won't stop trying to get me to work for him at the Hardy Boys Detective Agency and Cheeseburger Store, Nancy said. No offense, but his burgers are kind of nasty. Why does he think he can make burgers when he can't even make Johnny cakes? Maybe I can help you on the case, Ned said. What do the Hardys have that I don't? Years of experience and connections with international secret agents, Nancy said. I have a feeling this case is going to expand into something big, like an attempt to steal the crayon jewels. And obviously, the Hardys can help more than me, Ned sighed. Don't feel bad, Ned. You're good at lots of stuff. Oh yeah? Like what? You know, other things, Nancy said suggestively. Perhaps that line of dialogue was a bit too suggestive, because it was cut out of the game before the official release. So the testers were the only ones who got to hear it. I'm probably not allowed to say whether or not that's just a joke or if that really happened when I tested the game. Poor Ned was so shocked, he fell backwards onto the ground and didn't speak for another 3 hours. That brought a quick end to the phone call. In the meantime, Nancy called the Hardy Boys. Hey, Nance, Joe said. You ready to flip the spatula for an exciting career? No, Nancy said. I just wanted you to know if you guys have access to Degas, spelled like it rhymes with Vegas. Did you want to go to Las Vegas, Nancy? Frank asked. I bet we can solve some interesting mysteries there. I'm in the middle of solving a mystery now, Nancy said. Someone stole Adela Cherna's jewels, and it's a really frustrating case because I don't know how to type the accent marks over her name. You should try calling Ned, Joe said. I bet he has a 5-page slideshow on the topic ready to go. Ned is lying unconscious on the ground because reasons, Nancy said. So, do you know someone who can help? I know lots of doctors, Joe said. I keep getting knocked unconscious during our investigations, so I am on a first-name basis with everyone at the Bayport General Hospital's head trauma unit. I want someone to help me with the jewel database, not with Ned, Nancy said. She groaned. It was so annoying having to deal with detectives who said ridiculous things all the time. Then you want Agent Zane Garrett, Frank said. He's with the ICA, and he helped us solve a mystery in Boston, right before he helped you with the Salem mystery. I don't like to talk about the Salem case, Nancy said. I don't remember much of the Salem case, Joe said. I remember that someone drugged the tea, And then I had terrible hallucinations every night for a month. It was bad. I'll message Agent Zane and have him send you the file, Frank said. And Nancy, if you don't have a laptop with you, you'll have to get one. The Degas file is way too complicated for a phone. It's like 2 pages long. With color.